Celestial nymphs are supernatural beings associated with beauty, grace, and divine or spiritual realms in various cultures and mythologies. They are known by different names and have distinct roles and qualities in each culture, but they share the common theme of representing the alluring and mystical aspects of the supernatural world. Whether they are the Apsaras of Hindu and Buddhist mythology, Hesperides of Greek mythology, Tennin of Japanese mythology, celestial nymphs continue to fascinate and inspire people today as symbols of beauty, grace, and otherworldliness. Celestial nymphs, also known as Apsaras in Hindu mythology, are divine beings in various mythologies and religions, including Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism. They are often depicted as beautiful, youthful women who possess great dancing and musical abilities. In Hindu mythology, they are believed to be the companions of gods and appear frequently in various mythological stories. According to Hindu mythology, celestial nymphs were created during the churning of the ocean by the gods and demons, which produced many divine objects and beings. They were given to the gods as a reward for their participation in the churning of the ocean. The Apsaras are described as being skilled in the arts, particularly dance, and were often sent by the gods to distract and disrupt the meditations of sages and saints. In some stories, they are depicted as being married to Gandharvas, who are celestial musicians. In Hindu mythology, the most famous celestial nymph is probably the Apsara named Urvashi. She is considered to be one of the most beautiful and enchanting of all the Apsaras, and her story has been retold in various forms of art and literature throughout history. According to legend, Urvashi was created by the god Indra, the king of the gods, as a reward for the sage Narayana's meditation and devotion. She was sent to earth to seduce and distract him, but he was able to resist her charms and instead asked her to become his daughter. Urvashi agreed, and she went on to have relationships with several mortal men, including the hero Arjuna. She was eventually cursed to become a mortal herself, but was later forgiven by the gods and allowed to return to the heavens. Urvashi is seen as a symbol of beauty and desire in Hindu mythology, and her story is often used to illustrate the temptations and challenges faced by those on the path to enlightenment. Her character has been depicted in various art forms, including paintings, sculptures, and dance performances, and she continues to be revered and celebrated in Indian culture. In Greek mythology, celestial nymphs are known as the Hesperides, who were daughters of the Titan Atlas and the nymph Hesperus. They were said to be the guardians of a garden of golden apples that were a gift from the goddess Hera to Zeus on their wedding day. The Hesperides were depicted as beautiful young women who tended the garden with great care and attention, making sure that the apples were ripe and perfect. They were also known for their musical abilities, and their singing was said to be so beautiful that it could enchant anyone who heard it. In some versions of the myth, the Hesperides were aided in their task by a dragon, Ladon, who guarded the garden and its treasures. The hero Hercules was sent on a quest to retrieve one of the golden apples as part of his 12 labors, and he was ultimately successful in doing so with the help of Atlas. The Hesperides are an important part of Greek mythology, and their story has been retold in various forms of art and literature throughout history. They are often seen as symbols of beauty, femininity, and the importance of protecting valuable treasures. The most famous celestial nymph in Greek mythology is probably the goddess Aphrodite, who is known as the goddess of love, beauty, and fertility. She is often depicted as a stunningly beautiful woman who is desired by all who see her, and she is said to have the power to inspire love and desire in others. According to legend, Aphrodite was born from the sea foam that was created when the Titan Cronus castrated his father Uranus and threw his genitals into the ocean. She was later married to the god Hephaestus, but had affairs with other gods, including Ares, the god of war, and Adonis, a mortal man. Aphrodite was revered in ancient Greece, and her cult was one of the most popular and widespread. She was seen as a powerful deity who could bring love and happiness to people's lives, and her image was often used in art and literature to symbolize beauty and desire. Overall, Aphrodite remains one of the most recognizable and influential figures in Greek mythology, and her story continues to inspire artists, writers, and thinkers to this day. In Japanese mythology, celestial nymphs are known as Tennin, and they are believed to be divine beings who reside in the heavens. They are often depicted as beautiful and graceful women who possess magical powers and the ability to fly. According to legend, Tennin were originally born from the tears of the Buddha as he watched the suffering of humanity. They were sent to Earth to bring happiness and joy to people's lives, and they were often depicted as dancing and playing music to entertain and enchant their audience. In Japanese folklore, Tennin are associated with the Buddhist paradise known as the Pure Land, which is said to be a place of perfect happiness and beauty. They are believed to be messengers of the Buddha and are often depicted as wearing long flowing robes and carrying a lotus flower, which is a symbol of purity. Tennin are also associated with cherry blossoms, which are a symbol of springtime and renewal in Japanese culture. In some stories, they are said to descend from the heavens during cherry blossom season to dance and celebrate the beauty of nature. In Japanese mythology, the most famous celestial nymph is probably the Tennin named Kichijoten. She is considered to be one of the most benevolent and compassionate of all the Tennin, and her story has been celebrated in various forms of art and literature throughout Japanese history. According to legend, Kichijoten is a goddess of good fortune, beauty, and abundance, and she is often depicted as holding a lute or a wish-granting gem. She is also associated with the lotus flower, which is a symbol of purity and spiritual enlightenment in Buddhist mythology. Kichijoten is often portrayed as a protector of children, the sick, and the poor, and she is believed to be able to bestow blessings and grant wishes to those who invoke her name. Her image is often used in temples and shrines dedicated to her worship, and she is also a popular subject in Japanese art and literature. Overall, Kichijoten is seen as a symbol of beauty, compassion, and spiritual enlightenment in Japanese mythology, and her story continues to inspire and uplift people to this day. There are many more sexy, beautiful, legendary celestial nymphs whose stories and tales fascinate people of different culture and religions. Thanks for watching.